Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. There's this general saying, they say that injustice to one is definitely injustice to all. At the beginning of the agitation, when the agitation of Biafra and Udua became intense, a lot of persons were saying that these guys, the way they're going about it, they will actually disturb the peace of the country, and they will, change the status quo, and that most Nigerians are not interested in their move. But fast forward to now, obviously those in the elite are beginning to feel the heat, because for a while now we've been hearing the moves made by some of these groups like the ISWAP, trying to come against, even kidnap politicians on their way to meetings. It is getting out of hand, and prominent people are beginning to talk, and they are putting the blame actually on the common Nigerians. A lot of things are unfolded. Even Professor Wole Soyinka is talking. In a moment, you're going to get all the full juicy details about this. But before we do so, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you'll see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as you update our channel on YouTube. Well, the Nobel laureate Prof. Wole Soyinka has expressed concern over the level of impunity by the leadership in Nigeria. He, however, said that the docility of Nigerians was responsible for the menace among the political class. Well, that the literary giant said this at the 24th edition of Wole Soyinka lecture series organized by the National Associations on Wednesday. In his visual presentation, Soyinka said all the dire events that have overtaken and overwhelmed Nigeria were traceable to impunity, stressing that the country was paying the price for its inability to protest and denounce the impunity of its leaders. He said, and I quote, "I would probably expect that from different perspectives in terms of timing, there might be disagreement. I'm absolutely certain that we would agree that one of the major reasons for the dilemma we are undergoing in this country right now is that we permitted, we nurtured, we even encouraged, either by actions or inactions, the mindset of impunity, both in leadership and among the people. We ourselves are equally guilty. We ourselves allowed it. We watched it happen. We didn't take to the street to protest it, to denounce it, to warn of the consequences. Oh yes, there were warnings here and there, but they were not converted and structured. So it is not too late to reverse the trend. But at least we must first begin a frank, honest and objective dialogue." In his keynote address, Professor Patrick Lumumba lamented that Nigeria and most African countries reward corrupt leaders by giving them positions. The Kenyan-born activist also said that the issue of impunity, that it was not just a Nigerian problem alone, but is an issue with the African continent. I quote him, "It is pertinent to ask why Nigeria, which has such great promise, continues to wallow in the lower rungs of human development. We are Africans, and Nigerians silent in the face of impunity. Why, in the words of Wole Soyinka, has the man in us died? Despite the impunity by our public office holders, by some miracle, we are not enraged. They're not angry. It would also seem that we have lost the gift of disgust. Why is this so? Who caused us? We are the co-authors of our own misfortune, because we have lost our values and now resort to religion. We now choose to apply faith instead of logic, elevating the principle of do-nothingism. We have created leaders who have arrogated themselves the monopoly of wisdom, and the country is now run in a narrow and primordial fashion." Other speakers include the former deputy manager director of This Day, Arise News TV, and the rest. Now, they also went further to unanimously advocating for accountability in government as the bedrock of Nigerian democracy, saying that without accountability, leaders cannot be asked questions, thereby reinforcing the vicious circle of impunity. Now you now understand. If the likes of Sunday Igboho are screaming and shouting, since the impunity has gotten to a level of being very vicious, it's now a circle where it looks as if it gets even worse by the day. Those earlier days in the time of the PDP, we used to hear that there's looting of money, there's so much unaccountability, it runs into hundreds of millions of naira. But in this dispensation, we are hearing it in billions of naira. It's as if it's not a norm. And just like Professor Lumumba said, it seems as if Nigerians have lost their voice. They're not, for some miracle, we are not even enraged. Nigerians will tweet it, they will go on social media and they will lament about the situation, but nothing is done. And it's also saying, for those of us who don't even do anything, we also at fault at some point or the other. Now, the question is, before now, protest was allowed at it almost became a law that if you become protest is now against the law. But thank God for some of very prominent men and strong Nigerians who insisted that it's constitutional and it's democratic to protest. But we've seen so many things in Nigeria, and Nigerians are wondering, are we going to continue in this fashion? And Professor Wole is saying it's not just the politicians' fault, it's our fault as a nation. Now you now understand. If the likes of Sunday Igboho, the likes of Yoruba agitators are saying that they wanted their nation simply because the things they believe in are not working. The impunity is almost getting to its peak like never before. And the same thing is happening with the Biafra agitation. You see them, everybody clamoring for their own nation because they're looking at the level of people just do things. There seem to be no repercussions. Even when there are repercussions, it seems to be selective. Look at what Fulani herdsmen are doing in so many parts of the country. I've not really seen any Fulani herdsmen being arrested and even taken to court. Okay, we have seen Boko Haram. Sometimes they say give them amnesty. In fact, they tell them anyone who renounces, give them amnesty. Have they shouted that same amnesty code to others who are asking for their own? Some persons will say, why would you even give amnesty to somebody who said, I don't want anymore? Those who are agitating to live for their own country, to get their own country. Nobody will want to agitate for a country that is functional. Nobody will say, I want to leave a country that is doing so well to go and form a country that they're not sure of if it's going to do well. They said that he that is down is fear no fall. If everybody is already down, so what's the essence of you are not scared of any fall because you are the lowest of the lowest. So people are jumping up, people are agitating, they want to leave simply because they feel that the country has nothing spectacular again to offer. So they are trying to take their chances out there. So what they're saying in effect is that it's impunity in all sincerity that's brought Nigeria this level of degradation. Hence, everybody wants to, like the Yorubas will say, "One fair japa," they want to leave. Let's meet in that comment section. What's your take? Do you agree with what Professor Wole Soyinka is saying, that the whole thing, somehow, one way or the other, is our fault? Our action and inaction encourage the tribalism here.